Welcome back to the program, everyone. We are the Cenobites, back to raise a little hell. We'd like to thank you for joining us on this little cinematic adventure we're about to embark on, and we're going international for this one. Jason, did you get the little package I sent you?
Yeah, why'd you send me tickets?
Well, it should be. Did you get two? Nobody else was invited. It was just supposed to be you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're going to check out this Italian movie, and I just wanted to make sure you were excited for it. Actually, I have, can you put this mask on for me real quick before we get started?
Is that, man?
Scratch my face. We're talking about Demons from 1985 today, everybody, or Demoni if you're in Italy. I'm Dusty Lane.
I'm Jason Mitchell.
And we are the Cenobites.
Hello?
I came for you. We have such sights to show you.
It was an excellent day for an exorcism.
I said, I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brains in.
I want to play a game.
What's the boogeyman?
As a matter of fact, it was. This is God.
We all go a little mad sometimes. Haven't you?
Look what your brother did to that dog!
But sometimes, that is better.
And welcome back to Oblivion, everyone. Thank you for joining us once again. We're talking about Demons from 1985, directed by Lamberto Bava, produced by Dario Argento. It's a me, Dario! Obviously, he's made a huge footprint in Italian filmmaking for sure, with all the giallo content we've got out there. Bava is no exception. Studios involved in this. DAC film and distributed by Titanus, or Titanus.
Titanus.
This movie is not rated. We've been getting a lot of those lately, haven't we?
Right, yeah. Better that way. That
You think so?
I mean, that means it wasn't cut at all.
Yeah, be free.
Right.
Absolutely. The more free the filmmaker is, the better. Runtime of 88 minutes. Release year, once again, 1985. Our setting is in Berlin, Germany.
Yeah.
Back there again. I got down for plot on this one. Screw the expression. Look that gift horse in the mouth as often as you can, because some gifts you absolutely should not take.
Right. Fucking gift horse.
I
What
mean,
the hell are you talking about?
you gotta choose your battles, and if a guy walks up to you with half a metal face and gives you something, are you taking it, no matter what it is?
Yeah, he was pretty creepy.
He's definitely creepy.
Yeah.
Moving to our cast list here for a minute, we've got our main four here: George, Cheryl, Ken, and Kathy. George is Urbano Barberini. Cheryl is Natasha Hovey. Ken, played by Carl Zinni, and Kathy is Paola Cazzo. We've also got, I wanted to mention Tony the Pimp and his two sex workers here. Tony, played by Bobby Rhodes. Rosemary, this actress's name apparently is Goretta, but credited in this movie as Goretta Giancarlo.
Oh, okay.
We've also got Carmen, I believe, is the other prostitute here, Fabiola Toledo. How about that?
Oh, yeah, what the hell?
Local girl.
Fabi Toledo.
We have also got the younger couple we see in the movie theater, Tommy and Hannah, played by Guido Baldi and Fiore Argento. That is actually Dario Argento's daughter.
Right.
We've got an older couple in the audience, played by Stelio Candelli and Nicole Tessier. This is Frank and Ruth. We've also got the usherette, Ingrid, played by Nicoletta Elmi.
Ginger.
She was up to some weird shit in the beginning there.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've also got some ancillary characters, like the people in the movie, within the movie that we see. It became too much to list after a while, so I didn't get them or any of the greaser punks that end up showing up halfway through this.
Right.
But, as always, we love to point out the cinematography was fielded here by Gian Lorenzo Battaglia, and music, which fucking rocks all the way through this movie. The fucking shit, 80s synth, big arena rock drums and all that kind of shit. Oh, I love it. By Claudia Simonetti. And I'm Enzo Gorlami, and it's pleased to meet you all.
Yeah, dude, the music's awesome in this. We were talking about how this was aimed for the American audience, even though it's an Italian film, because we have Billy Idol, we have Motley Crue.
Yeah, man, all kinds of...
Some heavy hitters. So
for sure, Scorpions are in here, Rick Springfield.
Right.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, so the soundtrack's really hitting this whole movie.
Oh,
Really
yeah,
cool.
absolutely. So this movie was originally intended as a 3-story horror anthology, but reading through everything, Bava liked this segment the best, so he fleshed it out into a feature along with the writer, Dardano Sacchetti. Dario Argento stepped in to produce and added to the screenplay, as well as Franco Ferrini, who Argento brought in. So that's pretty cool. It did have a sequel the next year, and there was a third installment that was scrapped and rewritten as The Church, released in 1989.
Yeah, that's a good one too, actually.
Oh, you've seen it?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. The club in here, I thought it was interesting, is the exterior for the Metropole Theater still stands in Berlin. It's called Club Goya, which I wanted to mention up top here because we've got some interesting things to point out once the movie within the movie starts about Goya, interestingly enough, Francisco
Right.
Goya. But yeah, this place apparently hosted a bunch of horror cons due to its appearance in the movie. Apparently this is Bava's favorite of the films that he directed.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah, looking back on his like filmography,
Mhm.
other than Demons 2, I didn't really recognize a whole lot of other stuff, so I
For
can
sure.
really see that.
well, this one's got a 71% on Rotten Tomatoes anyway.
Hell yeah.
That's pretty cool. But yeah, let's explore the story here. A couple opening credits right off the bat to start. Dario Argento presenta un film di Lamberto Bava. Demoni! And we get a couple of headlights, so you think a car is coming toward the screen in our opening shot, but this is underground, baby. We're on the U-Bahn in Berlin.
Hey, oh yeah.
Bunch of very 80s looking people on it. And one guy that looks like a cross between Ronald Reagan and the bitter beer face guy. Did you check this dude down in the bottom right corner?
I don't think so.
He looks
no.
so sad. Yeah, 80s synth horror score music is bumping hard as the credits continue, and we just kind of pan past people in this one subway car. Like, it looked like, okay, guys, we rented this car for an hour. Let's really make the most of it, huh?
I like how they're trying to hit the punk stuff big because there's just bright hair and
Oh, yeah.
crazy dressed people, crazy haircuts, you know.
Right. There's one girl that we kind of keep coming back to in this montage as we're going between characters in this car, and this is our main character, Cheryl. But like you mentioned, yeah, like the big hair and the crazy edgy stuff. There's a couple of edgy girls doing a quick little drug deal, looks like.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see the one dude? She looked like she was 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
She was so... I guess the eugenics came through after all, huh?
She's wearing combat boots.
Right? Oh, I guess that does add 4 or 5 inches to your height, doesn't it? I should maybe invest in some. Cheryl looks out the window, and she sees some dude in a metal mask, it looks like, staring at her, and she thinks she's losing it for a second.
Mhm.
They pull into this sick-ass train station, and Cheryl gets out and just kind of stands there like a little lost puppy dog for a minute.
Right.
And I feel like she might be feeling a little paranoid in this moment because there were a couple of parts on that train where it seemed like people were staring at her, maybe talking about her, put her a little on edge.
Right.
And now she's alone in this train station.
Yeah, everything seems to clear out pretty fast.
Yeah, everybody just
you know,
disappears.
Well, and you can almost kind of tell that she doesn't really have any friends with her. She's, like you said, she's on edge, but she looks like she doesn't fit in.
Well, I'll tell you why. It looks like she's a student of music. She's standing there holding a book titled Bela Bartok Mikrokosmos. And he was a Hungarian composer, and this book in particular is one that's used in modern piano instruction.
Oh.
So she's a little music nerd.
I gotcha.
She walks through this train station, but she keeps checking over her shoulder because she keeps hearing footsteps and like chains rattling or some shit.
Right.
All of a sudden, there's a very menacing pair of boots stomping toward her. And she catches a glimpse of this dude's face, and it's the guy in the metal mask she saw a minute ago, which was impossible because she was inside of a subway car moving 60 miles an hour or
Right.
whatever. Like, there's no way he was outside the window.
Right.
But he's carrying some sort of net bag with a rope hanging from it. It looks like nothing good can come of this man.
He's sketch, for sure.
Super sketch. I think he ended up starting Rammstein,
Yeah.
if that tells you anything. But she's had enough. She hauls ass out of there. I can't get over this fucking train station, man. It really is beautiful. There's a bunch of carvings all over the place. Like interesting lighting, arched hallways. It's fantastic.
Right.
But in this train station is an escalator. And this part really fucking got me, dude. She is running from this guy. Whatever perceived danger she assumes is in pursuit. So she
Right.
steps onto this escalator and stops moving.
Dude, everybody does that.
Look, dude, normally I am in the camp of, oh yeah, sweet, I don't have to walk because this thing is doing it for me. But if you believe your life to be in danger, why the fuck aren't you running up this thing like the bionic woman, doubling your speed as well as the distance between you and your stalker?
Right.
The fuck are you doing? Get it together, Cheryl.
Everybody acts like they're on a fucking ride. Take a look. Oh, there's
That's absolutely what it
some
is in regular
animatronics
life.
over here.
Sure. When you're not being attacked by a fucking cyborg. Absolutely.
Just in general. Get the fuck out of my way. It's not a ride. We're trying to go somewhere. Move your ass on the escalator, please.
Oh, no, disagree. I'm standing still. You fucking try to get around me. I dare you. But wouldn't you know it, as soon as she gets to the top of this escalator, he steps out right in front of her. The metal mask that seems to be possibly under his skin is actually the most attractive part of this dude's face, because the parts where there is skin is all fucked up.
Poor guy.
He looks a little like the original Boris Karloff Frankenstein.
I don't know if he's that bad.
No, not quite, but I mean, it's getting there. And as menacing as this guy looks, he just turns out to be Willy Wonka. He hands her a golden ticket that says, "Today, 6 p.m., with 2 and day separated." Clearly an Italian movie made for Americans. It just says Metropole all big on it and gives an address. And like, no, dude, I don't want to come see your shitty band. I'm sorry. I'm just going to throw this in the garbage after you walk away.
We're not going to put our band name on it because you won't show up.
Yeah, Metropole sounds like a shitty band, by the way. But no, he just walks off and starts handing those same flyers to more people walking by. And in an interesting twist, the second jump scare of this movie belongs to Cheryl, scaring this poor metal face guy. He jumped out at her. She jumps back out at him saying, "Hey, can I have another one of those tickets? I have a friend that's waiting for me." And he stands there for a second like, "Oh my God, a girl is talking to me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, a girl is talking to me."
Poor guy.
Keep it together, Klaus. But he does hand her one of these, another one of these flyers. She asks him if he's doing some viral marketing here. She's like, "Why are you dressed like that? To promote the film?" And he walks away like, "Son of a bitch, you just wait. One of these days you're going to make fun of me too much."
He doesn't say shit.
See in algebra class, Cheryl.
I'm just weird and dressed like this.
Right? He runs away. "I hate you." We cut outside the train station to Cheryl's friend Kathy, who looks annoyed as fuck. Like, how long is this bitch about to be?
Yeah, hurry up, Cheryl. Mrs. Buckles is waiting.
But meanwhile, Cheryl just slowly arrives at the top of yet another escalator, once again not walking up it, taking her sweet-ass time while her friend is waiting. Real cool.
Typical.
Seriously, she's just kind of moseying through this station and then acts like she's in a hurry once she gets outside where she can see her. She runs out the front door and starts yelling, "Kathy! Kathy!" Who the fuck does that? If you were on a train and you know I'm outside waiting to pick you up, you wouldn't walk outside hollering for me. You'd use your eyeballs and your tact like a respectable fucking human being. Everybody else standing around looking at her like, what is this bitch's problem? Did she lose her daughter or something? She finds Kathy, apologizes for being late. Kathy's like, "Whatever, dude, you always are." And then, yeah, she mentions this Miss Buckles. She's like, she's going to be pissed, but I don't see how that's possible with an adorable name like Miss Buckles.
Evidently, she's a music teacher from what you were saying. So.
That's a Mr. Rogers character.
Mrs. Buckles must really crack the whip, you know?
Oh, yeah, dude. She tickles those ivories like no one you've ever seen, buddy.
Cool thing is they talk about ditching Mrs. Buckles because now they got tickets for the show.
Yeah, Cheryl shows Kathy the ticket she was given, and Kathy's like, "All right, well, what the fuck is this movie called? Apparently there's no title on it." And Cheryl thinks maybe it's like an early screening sort of situation.
Yeah.
Trying to get audience reaction. While they're talking, there's this kid doing a photo shoot for fucking Polo Ralph Lauren in the background. Like staring dead at the camera, doing poses and shit. I was fucking dying. Get the fuck out of the shot, kid! Anyway, Cheryl goes, "Hey, fuck Miss Buckles, let's blow that popsicle stand and go check out this movie." We cut to the exterior of the Metropole itself, and it's coming to life, it seems like. Like there's a weird display of like a mannequin on a dirt bike, and I'd ask if that's a reference, but that movie didn't come out for another 2 years.
Right, it's very strange, like a suit of armor on a dirt bike, holding a silver mask. And
a fucking katana, apparently. Right. Holy shit.
But the whole inside is really cool. It's kind of modern, but kind of not, you know?
Yeah.
Really strange
I think it was all just modern back then, but now it's 2025.
Right.
And the posters for all the movies. I have a list when we actually see the interior of the lobby, but yeah, there's a whole bunch of movie posters all over the place. I'm pretty sure Terminator is there, which would have been the year before.
Right.
So we focus on what the rider of said dirt bike is holding, and look at that. It's another creepy metal mask.
Right.
Uh-oh. We get our next character introduction. I have no idea what's going on here, but Ingrid, I don't know what the fuck she's up to. She's in a green dress that has some of those like pilgrim lobster bibs on it up top, like the huge white collar.
She looks like she's gonna hang out in the fucking Lost Woods.
Yeah.
Fucking Zelda, dude.
She's lifting like one side of this dress she's wearing, like way up her leg and staring at herself in a mirror. I thought for a second she was pissing on the floor, but turns out I think the Metropole just has a leaky ceiling or something. But what was with this weird introduction? It made me think she was going to be privy to what was going on in the theater. These moviegoers were kind of her victims in a way.
Yeah.
Or she was leading them there. Like she knew what was going on. But later it doesn't seem like that.
Right. I think she's just a sexy woman, Dusty. That's all.
She's definitely that. I'm not arguing that whatsoever. And that was all that opening shot was about, was just her showing you her entire leg.
Yes.
Fair enough, I guess.
Like you said, it kind of comes off like she's gonna be the bad guy here, and no, dude, we were just getting some skin.
Well, I think the shots of the Metropole coming to life were kind of her just like, okay, I'm here for my fucking shift. Let me turn the lights on.
Right.
Got to get the fucking popcorn going, whatever. The exterior of the Metropole looks pretty sweet. Apparently, like I said, it's a real club in Berlin called the Goya. Cheryl and Kathy just happened to pass right by it on the street. And Kathy's concerned. She's like, you don't think it's going to be a horror movie, do you? God, I hope so.
Right.
There's a cool shot of them standing out front, staring up at the sign, like a big sweeping shot of like,
right,
you know, Frankenstein's castle they're about to enter.
Yeah, the place is crazy looking. You know, the sign's lit up really well, but other than that, it's a pretty dark place.
Super dark.
You know, you can't really tell that there's anything going on inside.
Right. A little foreboding. I don't know if I would have entered. Kathy certainly has second thoughts. She's like, are you sure you want to cut class?
Right.
And Cheryl's like, well, I'll hold your hand if it's scary. How about that?
Ooh.
Well, I mean, come on. Who needs that kind of moral support? Like, if we walked in, like, we just watched Terrifier 3 in the theater, you know.
Saying you wanted to hold my hand?
Oh, no, I'm just saying, if I, like, reached over, like, oh my goodness, and, like, grabbed your fucking shirt or whatever, that'd be weird, right?
Yeah, don't touch me.
We cut inside the theater, and Ingrid is standing in the middle of this weird lobby taking tickets. She's tall as fuck, too, by the way.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I saw a Terminator poster hanging up behind her. Cheryl and Kathy are inside grabbing some sodas out of a vending machine. And man, thank goodness for Fountain Pop. That would suck carrying a can in with you. Trying to be quiet in the beginning, and everybody's just like...
Happens every time I go to the theater. Cracking open that 20 ounce that I got from the gas station.
Oh my God. Where do you bring it in your purse?
My wife's purse. We're loaded, man.
Oh my God, of course. Don't worry, I'll edit that out. We're totally not stealing.
Probably should edit that out. That's true. I didn't think about that.
No, you're fucked now.
Yeah,
man. You're
right.
blacklisted from every theater in Northwest Ohio.
Check that guy's bag, son of a bitch. It's got chicken tendies in there.
Chicken tendies. And what, ketchup?
Right.
There's another poster up on the wall. This one says AC/DC all huge on it, possibly for the 1980 documentary Let There Be Rock.
Oh, okay.
And there's another that references Dario Argento's 1972 film, Four Flies on Grey Velvet.
Okay, I need to check that one out.
Yeah, for sure. There's a couple walking in, talking about the wife never realizing there was a movie house on this street, and the husband says, yeah, you never noticed anything. She says, don't start, it's our anniversary. Damn, dude, what a way to spend it. With what they're about to see.
A nice little flick.
Holy shit, man. That's the older couple I mentioned earlier, Frank and Ruth. We get some close-ups of a few more pairs of theater goers, and then we settle on two in particular. This is George and Ken. They're checking out the bike we mentioned earlier, and Ken is just fucking blown away by this dirt bike, dude.
Hell yeah, dude.
George notices Cheryl and Kathy having trouble with the vending machine, and he's like, yo, forget about that bike. Look at these two stupid broads. They'll definitely put out. Let's go creep on them.
Let's swoop in.
What's with this fucking weird New York accent, man?
Right.
Apparently the machine ate the girl's money. Cheryl thinks Kathy's cursed or some shit, because this always happens to her. And then George and Ken make their move. George swoops in and he's like, looks like you girls are having problems. And then he fonzes the fucking machine and a Coke comes out. Oh boy.
Slick, man.
Seriously though, George sounds like fucking Peter Falk or some shit. He goes like, sometimes all it takes is the right touch.
Yeah.
Okay, are you gonna read to me about fucking Prince Humperdinck and shit now, man? As you wish.
The right touch.
Kathy puts the kibosh on that. She could see she was going to end up with Ken, who looks like he's about 14, and has a sweater wrapped around his neck like a yuppie college fuckboy. She's like, nah, I'm good, and walks away bringing Cheryl with her. Next, a blind guy walks into the theater. No, that's not a setup for a joke. That's actually happening. He's got his guide daughter with him, Liz and Werner. And she keeps saying his name throughout the movie, and I thought, okay, well, that can't be his daughter then. Why is she saying his name? That's weird.
Yeah, I didn't realize that until later either, and I went, what the fuck? I thought it was some kind of hired assistant or...
Yeah, just a handler, right.
Right.
He reaches his hand out suddenly as though he knows something is there, and touches the mask on the bike, and then he leans toward her and says, don't touch it. Motherfucker, you just did.
Yeah, he's got spidey senses or something because
Gotta
he's
be.
feeling some.
He's like
kinda...
Daredevil, like he's got
Right.
like a fucking Terminator vision going on with this sound waves bouncing off things.
Yeah, and I like this too because as he's telling Liz to not touch this mask, there's some kind of vibe he's getting from it. Rosemary picks it up.
Yeah,
and
we
it's
cut
kinda-
right to it, fucking her holding it onto her face.
Right.
This group of people is Tony the pimp and his two sex workers, Rosemary and Carmen. Rosemary puts it on her face. She scares her friend. Ingrid doesn't seem to like them fucking with the mask, though.
Yeah, and that's another thing we were talking earlier. Like Ingrid kind of seems like she's up to something.
Yeah.
She's staring at the mask, which must just be a quit touching the fucking display,
She has
dickhead.
to fucking know something, dude. Those looks don't mean nothing.
Right.
But yeah, Tony yells over to Rosemary, barks over to her. He goes, hey, cut it, baby. And she does exactly that because this mask cuts her. As she's pulling it away, it cuts her cheek a little bit.
Right.
Tony goes, that'll teach her to touch things. Rosemary says, what is he getting so mad for? Because he's a pimp.
That's what he does.
That's their whole thing.
Surprised neither of them have a black eye.
Cenobites would like to formally apologize to all of the ill treatment that sex workers have gotten over the years. You definitely don't deserve that. It's super fucked up, and we're super sorry. But Tony hangs the mask back on this bike, and everybody goes in to find their seats. Cheryl says to Kathy, ooh, I bet those cute boys are going to come sit over here.
She's right.
And Kathy kind of rolls her eyes at it, but no, that's precisely what they do. Dumbass Ken just sits down next to George. No, you idiot, you're supposed to sit next to Kathy. Jesus, man, what am I going to do with you? We cut over to a shot of Ken, and he looks like he's staring more at George than any of the girls. Right. And he fucking unties his little neck sweater sleeves. One of the sex workers asks Tony if he brought the popcorn, and he says, shut up, you stupid bitch.
Yeah.
Yep. That's pimps for you. And yeah, again, definitely made for Americans.
Why didn't she bring the popcorn?
You know, that's
kidding. Anyway, I'm sorry.
You know, I saw a meme the other day that said, congrats, America. You got back with your ex who's supposed to be in prison. That's the whole vibe I get from this. You know what I mean? Like, why didn't you bring the popcorn, you stupid bitch?
Right.
Any dang way. The lights go down immediately, except we get one weird shot of the blind guy and Liz before the movie kicks in. Why the fuck? Why was that there?
I feel like they start to do that as we're getting into the movie within the movie, right now, that they start showing reaction, and it's cut quite a bit. There's a lot of cuts back to people's faces, even if they're not making a face,
Mm-hmm.
And as the movie picks up, everybody's face starts to make more faces.
Yeah, well,
their
their faces change, and then their face isn't even their face anymore.
Right, so I think it's supposed to be a gradual.
Sure. So when this movie starts, we get a Motley Crue tune kicking in and a couple of couples on bikes on screen. It's a couple of couples. They're both couples, and they're riding a couple of bikes. And there's a couple of couples going on here.
Yes.
I thought it was cool how this movie within the movie started exactly how the movie started, with more headlights.
Right.
And we're kind of spending equal time seeing the movie on the screen as well as the crowd itself enjoying it for a little while here. These bikers pull up to a house somewhere. There's a voiceover guy saying, "The sleep of reason gives birth to monsters," which is a variation of the title of a Francisco Goya print that apparently was part of a series intended to, get this, criticize the vices of monks, the ignorance of common people, and the stupidity of the great.
Wow.
It depicts Goya asleep at his drafting table surrounded by evil and mysterious creatures, and it's apparently a declaration of Goya's adherence to Enlightenment values. Now, I bring this up because I find it interesting. This is the quote to begin their demonic movie, and Goya is the name of the actual club in Berlin this movie was filmed at. Not sure exactly how it all ties together, but it's certainly an interesting choice. Like, what is Bava trying to say about Goya here? Yes, quite. We get Ingrid being a fucking menace, walking through these aisles with her flashlight, She walks right behind our main group here, and she turns and points her flashlight at the screen. Fucking get out of here. Go away. Look like she might have a little something going on by her movement here a little bit too.
I'm all for it. If we had more people walking around with their flashlight
In a theater?
taking care of everybody sitting there.
No fucking thank you. I don't want flashlights walking around the theater while I'm trying to watch a fucking movie, dog.
You've never had the madness of 12 people coming and sitting in front of us when we're seeing Scream?
Yeah.
You remember all that?
That's a problem.
That would have been prevented if there would have been somebody with a flashlight standing there saying, hey, sit down, let these people watch their movie.
I guess so, but part of the instruction before you watch a movie is turn your fucking phone off. No one needs the brightness of your screen. Now you're going to shine a flashlight all over the place? Come on, dog.
We need an enforcer.
Something. And we need someone standing at the front with night vision goggles, staring at the crowd the entire time.
A dart gun.
A tranquilizer gun. And you know what? That might be a problem, though. If you start tranking people, they fall asleep, they start snoring.
That's true.
Now you got a different problem. So in this movie, these bikers drive around on some kind of like archaeological dig until one of the girls jumps off of a bike and points out she found an inscription. And so the guy that on the motorcycle she just jumped off of whips around to aim his motorcycle headlight at it.
Right.
She reads it. She goes, "They will make cemeteries their cathedrals and tombs your cities." Oh, shit. We got some dark stuff popping off in this movie.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
Sounds ominous. And to make it worse, the other guy comes up and says, "Oh, by the way, Nostradamus was buried here. No big deal."
Sounds like a rock group.
Right, the girl says. He goes, "Yeah, in 1500. Meanwhile, in the theater, Cheryl can't decide whether she wants to stare at the screen or at George.
Right.
The guy on the screen explains who Nostradamus was. He was a prophet from the 16th century that predicted all kinds of things that have come true, like the discovery of Neptune and Uranus, Hitler, World Wars, the Cubs winning the 1985 World Series, and dun dun dun, the coming of the demons."
Ew.
The other girl says, "Big deal, that hasn't happened." And the dude's like, "Not yet."
Right. You're in luck, lady.
And that's the moment when Kathy in the crowd goes, "God damn it, I knew it was a fucking horror movie. I'm out. I don't want any part of this."
She should have left when she had the chance.
George leans over and says, "Hey, grab my hand if you get scared. I won't mind." Smooth, dude, but what about Cheryl?
Right.
The hell? Send little fucking toddler Ken over there.
He's taking both.
The older guy on his anniversary date turns around and says, "Hey, shut the fuck up. Do you mind? I'm 68 years old."
Who, Frank? Hey, Frank.
All right, maybe 56. I'm not really sure what's going on with it. The group on the screen sneaks deeper into this area and get jump scared by a cheesy bat. We cut to the blind guy who says, "What's happening, Liz?" Oh, hell no. Even if you are I'm sorry. I'm not about to sit here and give you a play-by-play of this entire movie. I'm sorry, but if you're blind, maybe movies aren't your thing now.
Don't exclude anybody, Dusty. Movies are for everyone. Especially horror movies.
Especially the blind.
Especially the blind.
But Liz starts describing it to him. She's like, they're going down into a crypt, and now one of the girls goes down. It's very dark. And he's getting into it. He's like, "Oh no, are they scared?" She's like, "Yes, Werner. Yes, they are."
Suspenseful.
One of the prostitutes wants a light for her cigarette. Fuck that too. No smoking in theaters, people. Come on.
Yeah, Ingrid puts a stop to that pretty quick.
Yeah, she hits him with the flashlight, says, "Hey, put that shit out."
Right. But they continue to smoke anyways. Which
Yeah,
pretty
dude.
normal too.
Well, Tony gives her a look as she walks away like, she might be a nice addition to my lineup. And then after she walks away, yeah, they continue smoking. Fuck you, Ingrid.
Yep. Take your little Zelda dress, get the fuck out of here.
Werner ups the stakes. He asks Liz if she's scared now, and she says yes. I think he's getting a little something from that.
Ew.
Yeah, it's not great.
Fucking Larry.
Oh, Larry.
Yeah, so this was pretty strange too. So after he's asking if she's scared, we see a man sneak up and sit next to her very, very quietly.
Yeah, I was wondering what was going on with that, but it's revealed in a second here.
Right.
We're kind of going back. I was a little bit pissed while I was taking notes for this movie because we're going back and forth between the movie we're watching and then the movie they're watching. I'm like, I got to take notes on 2 fucking movies now? Come on, dog. But one of the movie guys says, "Be careful, girls. Fall into one of these cracks and you might find yourself next to Nostradamus' skull."
Sweet.
He's trying to scare him. She's like, whatever, dude. I just came for the ride on your new bike. And while they're having that conversation, some creep, like you said, sits down right next to Liz. And we don't know what this dude's deal is, but he like very slowly, like Jim Carrey, like like sneaking up over there, and he
You can
super
tell,
slowly sits down so that Werner doesn't hear him.
Right. You can tell that Liz is watching though, so this is all Liz is wise. I put two and two together. Here
Sure.
pretty quick.
Well, it turns out Liz arranged this.
Right.
But
right.
Ingrid shines her flashlight at a couple making out in the back. That was Tommy and Hannah. But it was interesting, like, they jerk to face the screen and act like nothing happened. Couple sweet little innocent kids, right?
Mhm.
Meanwhile, the creep that just sat down next to Liz, they are also making out. Unfortunately, Ingrid's nowhere near him to see this. They start making out, and this dude's fucking sliding his hand between her legs and shit. No,
Nice.
Liz, you're supposed to be watching your dad.
Yeah, ew, he's right there.
Yeah, she's into it, though. In the movie they're watching, the guys tell the girls that they're the first people to set foot in this crypt in centuries. Apparently, the hole they just came in through opened up just this morning.
Damn.
The guys say that they were out looking for lizards, you know, like you do, when they heard a crash, and they decided to bring the girls out to see what it was. And the other guy says, don't worry, monsters are only in movies. Good thing we're only in a movie. So, we're totally safe, right? Or does that mean double monsters?
Yeah, shit, I don't know.
One girl wants to hit the road, but the guy sees a seal of some sort, and he starts spelling it out, and he's like, N-O-S, Nostradamus. Yep, you heard it here, folks. They have located the tomb of Nostradamus himself. How do we keep doing horror movies about the graves of, like, historical philosophers and shit?
Right.
Alchemists and prophets and painters, oh my.
Hidden treasures.
Right? They go to pop open the crypt, and a cross breaks next to the girls somehow. Nobody touched it, although it was kind of cool. The timing and direction it fell did kind of look like the guy punched it while he was, like, trying to pry up the thing with the iron bar they found, even though he was nowhere near it, you know? George gets scared and grabs Cheryl's hand in the audience. Interesting plot twist.
Right. And here's where we get the introduction between them, too.
Yeah, they finally introduced themselves. Couldn't manage to do it before now. But Kathy says she might have a heart attack, and it's your fault, bitch, talking to Cheryl. That's when Ken decides to make his move. He goes and sits next to Kathy and says, great movie, huh? Nice line, buddy. She just fucking ices him out. In the movie, the grave robbery continues, but they don't find any bones, just a book and a mask wrapped in cloth.
Shit.
That looks familiar. There's even a drawing of it in the book, of the mask.
Right.
But here we go again, you guys. Never read the fucking Latin. He says it's written by Nostradamus. No shit, Sherlock. Something about demons, he says. You guys, Evil Dead has been out for years at this point. Why are you not wise to finding a book and reading the fucking Latin? And the girl says, hey man, just bring it with you and let's get out of here. I want to go. Meanwhile, the other guy puts the mask on his face and says, trick or treat, how do I look? And the guy reading the book says, hey, take that off or you'll become a demon. Yeah. He says, how do you know that? He goes, well, because it says here, whoever wears it becomes a demon.
Obviously.
I'm fucking dying, dude. Like the delivery of those lines. Or you'll become a demon. Well, how do you know? Because it says you'll become a demon.
Yeah, obviously. Come on.
In the audience, Tony turns to Rosemary and says, hey, now we know why you looked so good in it. Apparently she's demonic, I suppose. The guy on screen takes the mask off, but he gets a cut on his cheek, just like Rosemary.
Right. Tony puts two and two together, and they all think it's funny. It ain't funny, though.
She freaks out a little about that and notices her cut is bleeding again. Uh-oh.
Right.
She gets up to take care of that, and when Carmen makes the connection, oh, fuck, what a coincidence. She put the mask on earlier, cut her face. This guy just put a mask on, cut his face.
Yeah,
as soon as he does, her cut starts bleeding again. What the fuck is going on?
Right.
Tony says, oh, it's nothing. Just watch the movie, baby.
Yeah.
Rosemary starts feeling funny as she reaches the back of the theater. She opens the curtain to reveal Ingrid standing there. Dude, how long were you just fucking standing like that?
Oh, she's right there.
Just staring at the curtain.
Creepily.
Rosemary makes it to the bathroom and her hand is shaking as she tries to clean her cut, but suddenly it starts pulsing and growing until it pops like a big zit. Fucking gross, dude.
Yeah, dude. It's nasty.
Oh, no.
The effects here are sick, though, dude. For 1985.
Sick is definitely the word. I wanted to throw up. We cut back to the movie, and the Latin reader guy gets stabbed by the other one and falls down dead, and Cheryl has a death grip on George's arm right here.
Oh, yeah.
This is about when Tony starts wondering, hey, what's up with Rosemary? Carmen offers to go check on her, and Tony spanks her on her way out. Oh, don't you disappear too. We cut to the older couple, and the wife complains, oh, it's too bloody of a movie. And Frank goes, Ruth, shut up.
Yeah.
And he leans up and takes off his jacket. We're going to fucking be here a while. We ain't going nowhere.
Yeah,
You wanted to come out for your anniversary. Here we are. Enjoy it. Carmen walks into the bathroom and sees a bunch of blood and pus on the sink, but no Rosemary. She finally finds her in the last stall, and when she goes to turn around, we see that her hand is all gross and elongated with these awful claws on the end.
Yeah.
And crazy yellow eyes and neon green shit coming out of her mouth.
Fucking sweet.
She comes out and attacks Carmen, slashes across her face and neck before she can clear the bathroom door. And now, here we have a double chase scene going on. The lady in the movie is also running from the guy that stabbed her friend. And I think this is all pretty fun, the way they're cutting back and forth here.
Yeah, dude, it keeps the movie really, really busy. I don't think there's any downtime in this movie because
Yeah,
of
to
cuts like
think,
this.
hey, we don't have a lot of time this week. Why don't we do an easy movie? Something like, I don't know, Demons.
Yeah.
And then I'm sitting there for hours like, fuck, man.
Oops.
I thought you said this was an easy one.
Hey, I said it was a shorter movie.
It is shorter. Shorter, I got 88 minutes, fucking too shy of an hour and a half, which is what every movie should be.
Right.
So Carmen goes wandering through curtains and like behind the screen or some shit. She's totally lost, yelling for help. On the screen, the lady finally gets stabbed a few times, and with each one, we zero in on another couple in the audience reacting, including Kathy burying her face into Ken's shoulder now. Uh-oh. Got a little something going on there.
Oh.
Don't fuck it up, Ken. You got your in. We get some kind of gnarly effects and gore in this scene with the knife slowly pulling out of the lady's back. Finally, Carmen finds her way back out into the lobby, but here's Rosemary here to chase her. And this is a really cool scene to highlight the Giallo-style filming. Lots of dramatic color and shadow and light going on. Carmen hops outside to hide from Rosemary, and she stands there deciding which direction to go for like a really long time. Rosemary's like, should I go this way? If I go this way, no, I'm not going this. And then she fucking finally starts moving.
Right.
Back in the theater, Werner looks in one shot like he's the only one in the theater now, but I realized later he was on the balcony.
Right.
But he realizes that Liz is gone, and he's like whisper yelling for her in this theater, trying to find her, poor guy. He's fucking sweating.
Yeah.
Turns out Liz is behind the curtains with her little boy toy getting frisky.
Yeah, what the fuck, Liz?
She's supposed to be dad sitting.
That's fucked.
Shit starts getting wild in this theater, man. Liz hears Werner calling for her, so she tries to tell her boyfriend she's got to go, but he keeps pulling her back, and she's not putting up much of a fight.
Mm-hmm.
Then you've got Rosemary lurking around, who spots them. Meanwhile, Carmen actually does find her way behind the screen, and while the movie shows a gory scene where someone's getting torn up with that knife, the slashes on her face and neck start intensifying.
Right.
Like all the way up to the point where she gets a little neck pimple that pops too. She starts freaking out and pushing against the screen, and Kathy starts to notice and call the others' attention to it.
Right.
But it was really interesting how, like, oh shit, blood is being spilled in the movie, therefore her wounds are also opening. What the fuck is the connection here?
Right.
Oh man.
Shit's nasty.
Just playing the movie with the mask inside the theater causes these effects, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, Kathy's freaking out. She's like, those screams are real. Someone's behind there. And Ken's like, come on. It's just the Dolby system.
Yeah, it's the new Dolby system. It's fantastic, isn't it?
Oh my God. You wouldn't believe the sound on this shit. I swear to God, there was someone sitting right next to me screaming. Hand to God. Finally, Carmen manages to tear a hole in the screen and falls through it, and everyone in the theater freaks the fuck out, except Werner, of course. He can't see shit.
Yeah.
And George is the first one to her, of course, the hero of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Rosemary takes her opportunity with that distraction to grab a rope swag off the wall and uses it to choke Liz and her boyfriend at the same time.
Yeah, dude, it was sick.
Wow. Tony runs through the crowd to see what happened to Carmen, while Rosemary finishes the job with Liz and the bald guy. Kind of a crazy way to die, forced deeper into your partner's face than you ever have been before.
Yeah, that was pretty fucked up.
Their mouths start bleeding, so I'm just imagining like their faces are smashing together and they're like cutting each other with their teeth and shit.
Right.
Oh, God. So the theater's in an uproar. Tony thinks there's a madman loose around here somewhere. Yeah, it's fucking Rosemary.
Right.
And Cheryl...
Get your bitch.
It'd be great if he's still like once he finally encountered her, he like just slapped her like, get the fuck over here. We got more work to do.
Why are you acting crazy?
And she just follows.
Right.
Cheryl apologizes to Kathy for bringing her here. She's like, oh, this is all my fault. Kathy recognizes at this point that things are happening here just like in the movie, and it seems as though there's a demon transformation on screen at the same time that Carmen's completes. And her nails start to grow out. She starts spitting up green shit. Same thing. Her tongue shoots like way out of her mouth, like 2 fucking feet.
Yeah, dude, these are fucking gross. And I'm not going to say these are great effects, but it's nasty.
Yeah.
And I think that's all they're going for.
Exactly.
You know?
I think it's almost because of lower quality that these gore effects are more effective. Because it is cheaper, and you can see like it's at the end of the day just kind of a camera pointed at, a made up arm and hand and
Right.
whatever. But those imperfections come through on the camera and they make it look grittier, nastier, dirtier, bloodier, meaner. You know what I mean?
For sure.
But yeah, Carmen's tongue shoots way out of her mouth, and then Liz's boyfriend simultaneously falls from the rafters on a noose right in front of everybody. Somehow Rosemary crafted a noose, all 13 wraps around that knot. You know what I mean?
Right.
Somehow found her way up to, I guess they were already off to the side of the balcony, so she throws them off. But
Right.
Oh man, it's crazy.
Yeah, we get a close-up shot of her teeth coming out now.
Yeah.
And her, like, demon teeth coming in.
This
and
is
it's-
Carmen, yeah, on the stage, fucking her new teeth are pushing out her old teeth.
Right.
And it looks so fucking gross, dude.
And I kind of laugh because instead of everybody in a panic taking off and running, everybody's just kind of staring, which seems pretty loud.
Right.
What the fuck is that,
Yeah,
man?
she's got fangs now. Fucking run. But Tony is the one that gets everybody moving. He tells everybody to get the fuck out of Dodge, and the husband of the older couple doesn't take that advice fast enough, and he gets got. Carmen fucking tears into his neck and rips it wide the fuck open.
Yeah, nasty kill.
Yeah, the effects here are great. I especially, though, love the shot of everybody running through the theater panicking while the body of Liz's boyfriend is just completely still hanging there in front of, or in the middle of everyone.
Swinging a little bit.
Yeah. I don't know what's so intriguing about that shot to me, but I liked it. Werner shuffles through the hall and finally finds Liz by kicking her in the fucking face.
Right.
And just then, Rosemary finds him and shoves her fingers into his already useless eyeballs.
Yeah, and that looking on
Joke's on you, stupid demon. I don't need him.
on the bright side of it, because we do see him a little later. We assume that he's dead, but when he comes back, his eyes are all fucked up, and I'm like, it could have been worse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he just kind of
anyway.
Yeah, he just looks like a black-eyed, bloody situation. Like, the black-eyed people or children, I think it is, like the phenomenon of the black-eyed kids. Not having a black eye like you just got punched, but your eye, like your whole eye is black and they're fucking some kind of otherworldly something. But yeah, we cut to this scene of pandemonium in the theater. People are running up the stairs, tripping over each other, trying to get out, but apparently the doors are locked. And not only that, but these people rip these doors down piece by piece, only to reveal that they never existed at all because there's a wall in their place now.
Yeah, it's just fucking concrete.
Or did the building shift somehow? Those were the doors they entered through, and now they just don't fucking exist. It's just a wall.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Tony quiets everyone down and suggests they find the emergency exit. See, Tony, this is why you were voted best pimp in the county 3 years running. You really know how to take control. He really is the one that wrangles everybody, much more than George. I wish Tony had stuck around longer.
Oh, yeah.
So back to everyone running around, coming to the realization that they're trapped in this theater. One woman breaks off from the group and walks into a random room, and just as she's coming back out, she runs into Rosemary.
Yeah, ooh.
Who grabs this poor woman by the hair and rips her fucking scalp off.
Yeah, fucking scalping. It doesn't happen all the time, but when it does, I appreciate it,
It's pretty effective. As that's happening, George and Ken discover them and try to lock them up in this room, but there's a hilarious exchange when they sneak up on Rosemary, and George just goes, Jesus! Which startles Rosemary.
Right.
And she gives a deep demonic growl and jumps, like, before turning around to see him. Oh my god, I rewound that one a few times, seeing a demon jump. So George and Ken are struggling to keep this demon at bay. They're calling for help, and Tony runs up with some random dude. They grab a vending machine and ram into the door and smash her fingers in the process. I think one of them might have come off, ?
It was hard to tell, but
we don't
I
really
thought
get confirmation. But
it was fun, and it was kind of goofy,
But they shut her up in here, and they take a breather, and Kathy reminds everyone it's the movie's fault. I was kind of thinking, why are you guys like kicking back on your heels right now? There's still another demon downstairs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like this, though. Tony kind of lays it down for us, you know?
Yeah.
She picked up that mask and scratched herself. Get it? An instrument of evil.
Like,
you heard him, like the damn movie.
Well, he says, get it? Because, like, the only preamble before his get it is, she's right. She put that mask on and scratched herself. Get it? No, not with that much information, man. Can you give me a little more than that? But yeah, just like in the damn movie, you heard him. Oh, okay. So stop the movie is what you're trying to say. Everyone comes to this realization. They start chanting it like Evil Dies Tonight and Halloween Kills.
Right.
And Ingrid walks up finally. I was thinking finally anyway, because it's like, let's get to some fucking answers, lady.
Right.
You know, I'm still assuming she knows something about what's going on at this point.
She can know all she wants to know about you, Dusty.
Well, yes, she can. But no such luck. She just tells Tony where the projection booth is and just runs off with the group. That's her whole contribution. Now she's just a part of the group.
Yeah, I thought that was strange. Like I said right away, I'm like, don't let her come with you guys. You know, like something fucked up's going to happen. But
exactly, dude. She's going to hit a fucking trapdoor when you go around a corner somewhere and you're fucked.
Don't judge a book by its cover, man.
But no, Tony is our savior here. He says everybody's got to stick together so no one gets hurt. The poor guy in the younger couple apparently lost his girlfriend. He's freaking out trying to find her. Tommy and Hannah.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out she's been crawling through the aisles this whole time. What the fuck? She might be onto something, dude. She seems like she's managed to avoid everything up to this point.
Yeah, she's been getting lucky.
They get to the projection booth and the door is locked, of course. Cheryl suggests she go in through the window. Bitch, how you getting up there?
Right, that's what I thought. You got a fucking ladder in your pocket?
Tony says, no, fuck that. Hold my beer. And he fucking kicks the door in.
Door or two.
We get more giallo shots here. Like when they go into this room, we just see their silhouettes in front of a bright pink light.
Right. Very cool.
And then when they get in, Tony says, oh, fuck, another door.
Right.
I was dying, dude. They bust into that one too. This room is washed in orange light, and it's also too science lab-like for my tastes. Like, what are all these banks of instruments and shit? Should just be a damn projector and the control for the sound. This room that they step into looks like it belongs in a fucking military submarine or some shit.
Right. So here is where I finally have a complaint. I thought the movie was great up until here.
All right.
So you're telling me.
Wait a minute. Let me get my popcorn. All right.
So there's all this demon shit going on. Shit's linked with the movie, whatever. And we're going, okay, maybe it's a haunted film. Who fucking knows? I don't know. We're just reaching, right?
Sure.
So motherfucking Pimp Tony kicks in the door.
Yeah.
And it's a fucking computer.
Yeah, essentially.
It's
like
a computer.
That's what I'm saying. We got like computer banks and shit. Where's the film equipment?
So it looked like it was all attached, but just the idea that this is all happening and the computer did it.
That would make more sense to me, like, since we get like Cyborg guy popping up. What's with your weird metal face?
Maybe. That I guess now that you pointed that out,
that's really the only connection he has, because he's not a demon. He doesn't have that like red-eye green shit. Like when we finally do see him later in the movie, spoilers everybody, sorry. He doesn't have that shit going on.
Right.
He's just kind of the orchestrator of this in some way, like the secret ringleader, you know, running the underground cartel of demons here. Like, I don't know what the fuck his deal is, but it's strange to me that like we don't ever get an explanation as to what his deal is.
No, not really.
And even the climactic, or it's supposed to be climactic scene of him being overcome is kind of just, it falls flat because like what happened and why.
Right.
You know?
Agreed.
So I really enjoy when they're standing in this room though. There's a super goofy exchange. Someone says, oh, there's no one here. These machines are automatic. They work on their own. And then Kathy goes, so that means, you guys, that means no one has ever been here.
Yeah.
Fucking what? What are you talking about? Who put this shit here?
Somebody's been there.
But Cheryl sees, speaking of metal face guy, she kind of sees a flash from the beginning, and Tony goes fucking crazy, telling everybody to smash shit, and he just picks up a stool, goes ham on this fucking projector, grabs the film, starts ripping it out, and this movie slowly glitches out.
Hell yeah, simple enough.
It would seem, but now we've got new problems. We cut out to the street somewhere in Berlin, and we get some new characters introduced. A whole gang of them, as a matter of fact. I think these are the hot-rodding teenagers from Dimension X from the Ninja Turtles cartoon. What were they called? The Neutrinos or some shit?
Dude, it's like the same group from Return of the Living Dead.
Okay.
Which I don't know if you've watched in on that, but I swear to God, it's some of the same actors.
Just some like greaser punks who seem like they belong on, in the production of Cry Baby or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, I thought it was the leader, but apparently it's just another guy in the group. His name seems to be Hot Dog. So the chick in the back of this car says, "Hey, let's boost a Ferrari next time. This heap's got no class." And the leader speaks up and he says, "It's like you, airhead, been putting out too long."
That's fucked up.
They're just cruising the streets. We cut back to the theater for a minute, and the whole group files into the balcony. Someone mentions, "Okay, now the movie can't hurt us anymore." And then Werner, the blind guy, pipes up saying, "It's not the movie, it's the theater." Oh, shit. What do you mean? What information do you have, my friend?
Right.
He says it killed my little girl, Liz. Tony insists on throwing Liz's body into a stall, apparently, he says.
Yeah, before she comes back to life, you know?
And he pushes the blind guy down. Wow, dude, how do you fucking sleep at night?
Pushing everybody down, dude. Slap people up.
George goes to help, but Tony wants him to throw her over the edge. What the fuck? Why? Why are we tossing her off the balcony? That's not going to do it. But George says, "No, I won't do it." But Ken steps up to help instead. However, just before they throw her off, the older guy that got earlier pops up.
Old Frank.
And Tony whips out a switchblade and stabs him a bunch, and he falls back off the balcony and through a chair right on top of Hannah, Tommy's girlfriend. Fuck, man, blew up her spot.
And then, like, throws up all over her, too.
Yeah,
you know, that was
she
fucking
had
sweet.
such a good thing going for a minute, climbing around on the nasty floor of this theater that probably gets cleaned twice a month. And this poor girl's got a fucking House of Horrors thing going on. She, like, this dude oozes and leaks and vomits all over her.
Dude. Fucking sweet.
And then she backs away right into the legs of the guy hanging from the ceiling. She's having a horrible day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But we cut back out to the fucking rockabillys here. The leader, Ripper, tells his buddy to take the wheel so he can snort some coke. And by that, I mean he sniffs the straw sticking out of his coke can. I'm assuming there's coke in this coke can, yeah?
It's a Coke can full of cocaine.
we got a couple of couples on bikes, and we got a coke can of coke full of coke.
Yeah. Very strange.
Back inside the theater, Tony tells everyone to rip out the seats to make a barricade. Once again, dude, he's like Ben in Night of the Living Dead, taking charge, making sure everybody knows what's up.
I mean, Dusty, isn't the pimp usually in control?
You know? You make a good point, I guess. He's got the personality for it.
His pimp hand is strong.
Everybody else is just timid, too timid. So yeah, he also tells George to cut the rope with a knife that he used to just kill that demon that climbed up the rope. And just then, Liz pops back up and bites Tony's leg. He screams at George, "Give me the knife, give me the knife." And I love the reactions a couple times in this movie. Both of them after instructions from Tony. The first time was the guy he told to grab the vending machine with him. Mm-hmm. And when he says that, the guy's just kind of like, when we cut back to them, the guy's just kind of standing there like, ho-hum, waiting for something to happen. And this time is really no different. When he yells for the knife, George is standing there looking at Liz, and he hands the knife back over like it's a fucking screwdriver your dad just asked for.
Right.
You know? Oh, yeah, okay, sure, here you go.
Sorry, here you go, man.
So he starts stabbing the shit out of her, but she takes a huge chunk out of his leg. And besides that, her boyfriend has now crawled up the rope that he was hung on to attack him as well.
Yep. And see, that's why he wanted to cut that. He knows they're not really dead.
You know, I'm so glad he did that the way that he did, though, because we get the coolest fucking shot of all three of them, Liz, her boyfriend, and Tony, falling over the railing and all stopping before they hit the ground because that noose is still around the boyfriend's neck.
Right. They're all hanging from him.
And we see them hanging from this thing in silhouette with a big red light bathing the room around them.
Yeah, very
so
cool.
Great. George picks up the knife at this point and cuts the rope so they can't get back up. There you go. Good move. We cut to the younger couple finding their way back to each other, and he goes, "Oh, you're bleeding." She goes, "No, it's not my blood, but guess what? You're fucking bleeding."
Yeah.
I'm not bleeding. You're bleeding.
It's just a scratch, though.
Right. Dun, dun, dun. Demons. Or wait. Demoni.
Demoni. A demoni.
Listener, you could give us a demoni if you subscribe to our channel.
Give us your demoni, please.
They start to make out again as if there aren't fucking demons in the theater. But we cut back out to the street where the most famous song in this movie by a country mile starts playing with Billy Idol's White Wedding.
Yeah, buddy.
And since I don't get the correlation of these punks to this movie yet, I don't understand these cuts where it's just like travel commercials like, yeah, visit Berlin, see the sights, do some coke from a soda can.
I definitely thought it was strange. And when
I didn't have any idea what they were doing here for such a long time.
It's weird that it correlates into our story here shortly, because my first thought was, I thought they were on their way to the theater, but that is not the case. They're just cruising around doing coke in a stolen car.
They're just being street punks, dude.
Right. Okay.
They start fighting over this coke can because like 3 of these morons grab it at the same time. They're fighting over it. And then they spill cocaine all over the car, which apparently this scene was censored. For quite a long time, so there might have been another rating of this movie released, but we got the unrated version here. Hot dogs, I'm sorry.
Hot dogs?
Hot dog! No, it's Ripper. He stops the car to yell at everyone, and I think they're calling her Airhead, I'm assuming at this point. That's the first thing I heard her called anyway. She goes, "It's not my fault, Ripper." He's like, "Fuck you, pick up every gram of coke." Wow. She's like, "Yeah, it's not my fault, Ripper." And he's like, "I don't give a fuck. Pick up all of the coke right now."
Right.
The people in the theater, back to them, they start ripping out these seats and piling them up. We're just like quick cuts back and forth between these 2 locations here. We're back to the car again. They're detailing it. And the girl says, "Oh, it's even in my panties." What the fuck, man?
Get it back.
Yeah, stick your schnoz in there. Get it. But this is the weirdest dubbing in the whole movie here. Ripper and Hot Dog and Baby Pig apparently all talking. Like, I wonder if these are Italian actors, and since we watched the English version, if the scenes that they did were maybe filmed in Italian.
Right.
And then they just overdubbed them. Not quite sure.
Right.
George asks if he thinks their plan is going to work. He's talking to Ken, and Ken's like, don't tell anybody else, but no, not really.
This is the last complimentary ticket I'll ever take from anyone.
Right.
The smartest line to hear in the movie, actually.
Well, it's also true. I always find it funny in these movies because I mention it in damn near every one of our episodes. Somebody will say something like, "Oh, this is the last time I ever blah, blah, blah."
Yeah.
And then I'm like, it sure is. You don't know why yet, but it is.
Last time we go camping at Crystal Lake. Jesus. Last time I visit Haddonfield.
Yeah, anyone that says that, it definitely is because they're fucking dead. I guess their only plan after barricading themselves in is pounding on the wall and hoping someone comes to save them.
Yeah.
Sick.
I mean, they're out of ideas. We've checked the exits here.
Did you see this fucking building though? They're like in the theater room, which is an internal wall, I would assume.
That's
that's proven true later.
Right.
But if they're banging on those walls, there's still that, a couple of layers on the outside, more hallways and shit insulating that. Ain't nobody gonna hear that shit.
Right. It's because of how big the place is. That's one thing I noticed throughout the movie was this theater's fucking huge, dude. It's nice.
Even though I think it just has the one screen.
Oh, okay.
It's like one of those old movie houses,
Yeah, it's not our typical.
That's why we've got like
house.
Ingrid, the usher taking tickets and directing people, whatever. It's not like that anymore. You just walk in, you pick your own seat on a screen now, and you fucking go find it. Good luck. Ain't nobody got a flashlight, which I'm thankful for. Thank you. So back in the car, the girl of the group says she finished picking coke off the seats in the floor
with her baby picture for some reason.
Yeah, what the fuck? She points out on this thing. She was like, "Oh, this is me. I was 1 year old," and she's naked, like kind of doing one of these on her little baby chest. It was pretty fucking uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And then Ripper comments on it, and he was like, "Oh yeah, already selling you twat back then, huh?"
Like, yeah, like
Jesus.
That's why I said, "Whoa."
Yeah, that would be a rewrite if it was released today. 2025 demons? No, we're not doing that part.
Yeah,
yeah.
Here we get the sick razor blade nip scene, dude.
Yeah, Baby Pig starts scraping some of the coke off of her chest with a razor. He's like, "Oh, there's snow in the valley." And then this dude starts shaving her tit, basically.
Yeah, dude.
He comes dangerously close to cutting her nipple off.
I think so. Yeah.
And he actually does nick her boob a little there.
Mm-hmm. She likes it, though.
Got a little boob nick. She's into it, dude.
Right.
Yeah, this dangerous razor play.
Fuck's wrong with you? Y'all need Jesus.
The people in the theater start banging on the walls, and it turns out the punks stopped their car right outside the theater, and they can hear this. No, they can't.
Right.
They can hear this. The leader says it's just a movie, and another disagrees, so they do some more coke about it. And inside, Kathy thinks she hears something and sees some chairs rattling. Ken says, it's nothing, it's just the chairs settling. But nope, turns out we got demons crawling through these fucking chairs.
Right.
George ends up smashing through the wall with the fire extinguisher and discovers there's another room behind it. And he says, we should all break it down, but I don't know, dude, it looks pretty gross in there. Do you see the other side of the shot when he's banging through this wall? It's like weird, drippy, tar-like substance on the other side.
A fucking sewer
It's
something.
never really revealed because when they go through, it's just like a hallway.
They get stuck, yeah.
But yeah, the younger couple are still running around on the lower level of the theater by themselves. The girl wants to come back to join the group, but the boy says, nah, we should just find a way out.
Right.
They all walk into some weird liminal space, and peep this, Ken and Kathy are holding hands. That's what's up, big dog! Sealed the deal. Way to go, Ken. You little skinny weirdo. Still no way out, however, it would seem. They walk into this, like, brick-walled room. It's another dead end. Cheryl's losing it, and she screams, It's walls! It's just walls!
Yeah, for some reason, all the women totally lose their shit all at once.
Why is everything just walls?
Whole bunch of loud commotion.
Everybody starts
screaming.
tweaking out, yeah.
Yeah.
We cut to everyone back in the theater balcony, and it's super quiet now. Everyone's totally defeated. We go back to the punks outside. Apparently, they're boosting another car as a couple of cops pull up and tell them to get out of the car. You know, they all run off, and they go down an alley, but it's a dead end until
The theater door.
Yeah,
Right.
one of the theater doors pops open for them, it seems. Like, oh, hi.
Coincidence?
Yeah,
I
well,
guess so.
we've been expecting you. Enter at your own risk. They all run in as someone else runs out from the shadows and hides behind a car at the back of the alley, attracting these cops' attention.
Mm-hmm.
And then they find, I believe it's the blind guy, right? Werner?
I had to back this up because I didn't notice him run out the door at first.
Yeah.
You know, and right away I was like, what the fuck are the cops looking at?
As soon as the punks run in, he runs, I don't think he runs out the same door. It's kind of like just behind that by a couple of feet, and he's hiding in the shadows, and he runs across the alley and hides behind the car. So I thought it looked like Werner. He's behind the car. He ends up attacking these cops, and one of the cops shoots a couple of his fingers off. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, dude, crazy.
Back inside, the younger couple finds a vent to crawl through. They get started through that while the punks roam around underground, it looks like. The problem with the air duct is that the boy is slowly being demonized. Remember, he got scratched.
Mm-hmm.
And he's slowly turning, and she's going to be stuck down in there with him.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you're saying the scratching and shit that he was hearing was him turning?
I thought so at first, but I think he holds out a little longer
Mm-hmm.
than most of the rest of them seem to. But I thought, like, there's a shot where it shows a close-up of, like, demony hands. And I was like, oh, shit, his hands are already turning. I don't think that's him. I think
No,
that's
not
who's
quite.
revealed in a minute here. But he does already seem to be struggling, and I find it funny that he's having just so much trouble crawling through this duct. Oh, it's so hard. But he's not using his fucking legs. What are you doing? He's just dragging them behind him. Of course it's hard.
Right.
But yeah, we also see someone here that's already turned, as we mentioned, is in the air duct with them, and they end up taking a wrong turn and get got.
Mm-hmm. Quick cutaway. We don't really see anything that necessarily happened.
Right. Just it's a female, and she kind of just and then
Yep.
we're out of there. The punks finally piece together they're in the movie theater, but hey, weird, why is it deserted?
Yeah, and there's no fucking way out either.
Well, one of these morons finds the door that was blocked off by the vending machine, and he goes, hey, let's go through here.
Yeah, ooh, they don't know Rosemary's in that bitch, man.
Fucker. All right, quit undoing the work we already did.
Yeah, I like here, Nina goes into this room after they move the pop machine.
Well, the rest of the punks, it's super funny. They walk in, they walk right the fuck back out.
Right. Yeah, she stays in there, and she's in the mirror messing with her lipstick,
Checking herself out.
Right.
Yeah. What is it with cokeheads and mirrors, man? So yeah, she puts on some lipstick, and then out in the hall, one of them asks, oh, hey, where's Nina? And then Ripper's like, oh, she's probably in the can. What the fuck? Why wouldn't she have said something when she decided to break off from the group, But just then, the lady that got scalped earlier pops up and attacks her.
Yeah, Sandra.
Oh, her name was Sandra?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no shit. I didn't catch a name at all. When the punks run back to help her, all of a sudden a whole bunch of demons come running up the stairs. And now they all have like glowing eyes. Like some are red, some are orange. It's fucking, it's a crazy visual.
This is an awesome shot. This is the shot from the cover that we all see.
Yeah.
And it's them coming up the stairs to go down the stairs into the theater with that blue light.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I noted here was the eyes were an afterthought. That was not planned going in when they were recording that. Somebody had the idea to throw in them glowing eyes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Back in the theater area, everyone starts to hear some commotion outside, and they're convinced that help has arrived. Oh, yay! So naturally, they all start tearing down the fucking barricade. And George is like, wait, you idiots, stop it. It's not time for that yet.
Right.
And he takes Ken, Cheryl, and Kathy, and he's like, let's get the fuck out of here. They try to break off from the group at this point. Tony pops back up and starts attacking people along with a few other demons.
Yeah, dude, he's whooping ass.
Yeah, dude. Fucking Tony, bro. He's both the savior and, like, the main villain of this movie.
Right. You can see his fucking chain when he's killing people.
It's fucking chaos up here, dude. Like, one guy gets choke slammed, another lady gets slammed and then choked. It's wild, dude.
Right.
Like, she ends up biting off the fingers of a demon attacking her. That's super badass. But I wouldn't want those fucking things in my mouth, dog.
Right.
No, we're not going that route. What if me biting it turns me from the demon's blood?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So the older lady gets fucked up by Rosemary and like squished under a seat cushion at this point. That was pretty dope. But this goes on for a little while. Ingrid gets the idea to also crawl through the seats, but it's not really working out great for anyone. Somebody tries to crawl through the projection booth window and gets ripped back down. Somehow George and Cheryl manage to make it through. And then Ken calls out to them saying, I need help. Kathy fucking passed out, dude.
Yeah, shit.
What the fuck, Kathy?
Terrible time to pass out. Should have left her.
Oh my God. You couldn't have done this earlier in the movie and got it out of your system? Some demons start coming up the stairs right behind them, so they got to get the fuck out of here. And they do just in time, but I guess that means Kathy is running while unconscious. Like, nobody's carrying her. She's just got her head down, just fucking sleep running. And they go down some stairs, and George spots another vent and suggests they crawl through it. Fucking bad idea, homie.
Right.
Don't do it. Cheryl actually offers to go first. She's so eager to, like, just throw herself into danger, isn't she? But George says, no, we got to get Kathy in first. But Kathy starts having some kind of weird vision, or maybe she's in shock, or maybe she's a demon. Oh, fuck. She turns around to reveal some yellow and red contacts, of course. And she says, who are you? In a much deeper voice. Then, go figure, starts spewing up more green shit.
Right. Yeah, this is pretty awesome. Ken kind of jumps into action and picks up the air vent cover.
Yeah, dude. It's a goofy scene, actually, where Kathy just kind of, like, she takes turns swiping at each of them until Ken picks up that grate or whatever it is and fucking just beats her with it.
Right.
Cheryl freaks out, but he's like, look, that wasn't Kathy anymore.
Right.
And then Kathy starts to get back up, but then we get an interesting twist. She's on all fours on the floor, and then from out of her back, out comes a tiny little demon. Holy fucking shit. Are these little guys, like, piloting all these human bodies? Like, what the fuck, dude? It's like gremlins, these little imps.
I just wanted to say, damn, Kathy, nice arch.
Ooh, ooh. Yeah, there was that for sure. But yeah, this demon that pops up, he's a nasty looking little fucker. I was thinking they were going to start popping out of bodies, and we were just going to start having to deal with these guys.
Right.
Having to deal with these guys. That's how you speak words. But yeah, no, it like lunges out, scratches Ken, and runs away back behind the curtains. So now this fucker's loose.
Oh yeah, well, you're done, Kenny boy.
That's it. When it started backing away, dude, it looked a little like fucking Darth Maul demon, actually.
You think?
Yeah, Ken freaks out, and he tells George and Cheryl to leave him alone. He runs off. That's absolutely the right decision. You should do that, George and Cheryl. Please fuck off. Stop chasing him.
Yep.
That's exactly what they don't do. They go to chase him down anyway. Fucking idiots.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. Like, he's going to turn, but...
Ken just wants it wants as peaceful and awesome an end as he can fucking manage. So he crawls into the lobby so that he can die next to the world's coolest dirt bike.
This scene was fucking stupid to me. George is telling Ken, fight it, man. And
yeah,
I'm like,
you can still pull through.
I'm like, you don't even know what the fuck this is.
Right.
So why are you telling him to fight it?
There's no fucking chance.
Right.
You saw someone turn into a demon because she got a tiny little prick on her face.
Right.
You know?
You should probably be able to overpower it because we know so much about what's happening right now.
Exactly, yeah. We just need to find some Latin to read to reverse the Latin that was read.
Right.
Ken says, fuck off. I don't want you to see me like this. Yeah, George, why are you friends with the child in the first place?
Well, hold on, though. Ken kind of revamps himself because he's got one last favor as a friend.
Yeah, dude. George turns to leave, but Ken says, no, wait. Do me one last favor. He says, kill me with this. And he grabs the fucking katana from the top of the dirt bike mannequin. Holy shit, that's metal as fuck. Wait, can you film me on the bike with you cutting my head off?
Right.
Like, we got like 2 minutes to make this extra sick, dude. Let's workshop this. And he hands the sword to George, even as his eyes are changing, and he's got fucking crazy veins bursting all over the place. Ken does a good job selling this scene, I think, begging George to kill him. Like, don't let me become like them. Come on, hurry.
Right.
He takes a few steps away, and then he turns around to reveal that he's now fully demonified. And he runs at George, and we get a super cool slow motion swing, and then blood spraying all over the bike. Still a pretty cool death.
Hell yeah.
Cheryl ducked behind the curtain at this point, which put her back in the theater and now threatened by more demons. And one of them is Ingrid from earlier. She's now turned.
Yes.
And then George comes riding into the theater on the fucking dirt bike, sword in hand. Fuck yeah. God bless America or Germany or wherever this is happening. This scene rules. He fucking like holds the sword up and he yells, Cheryl!
Dude.
And he hauls ass down this walkway, doing a wheelie on the way and driving up and over seats to get to the front and shit.
80s dirt bike kill sword montage.
Dude, I guarantee people have just like typed that into YouTube and there's at least 1,000 results.
He's just so smooth riding over these fucking movie seats and up the stairs and all this shit. He's just a flawless rider.
I'm gonna tell you something. That's not happening.
Right.
You riding over theater seats?
Right.
Like there's a plane of glass that you're gliding along up and over the seats.
Right.
Oh my God.
He also kind of used that sword almost in the style of like, what's the shit with the swords and the fucking horses and you ride at each other?
Oh, jousting?
Jousting.
Those are lances, my dude.
I know, but he's like on the dirt bike when he first comes in and the sword's sticking off to the right. He's like slicing people.
Yeah, mowing people down like he's just edging his walkway.
Yeah, it's badass.
So yeah, he kills a few of them with this sword, but then one of their hands gets jammed up in the spokes of the dirt bike wheel. So they they can't go anywhere.
Yeah, it shows like there's quick cuts between the demon finger stuck in the spokes and then him revving up the engine. Just trying to.
He revs it super hard and tears the fingers clean. Like Cheryl jumps on the back of the bike. They fucking speed off out of there. Except it seems like George is just doing circles around this theater now.
Yeah.
Like, is he just trying to blitzkrieg as many of these things as he can?
I think he's
attack and retreat, you know?
He's cleaning house.
He does the full circuit before long, dude. He goes upstairs and up and around back there, and he comes back down. Eventually, he ends up dumping the bike, and they both fly off. But he does manage to kill Tony here, though. Mm-hmm. And Ingrid, actually, he stabs her. Dude, when he fucking stabs her in the stomach.
Like, fucks her with it.
Yeah, was this supposed to, he like moves in and out, and they're both kind of gyrating and moaning a little bit? Like, it's definitely supposed to be he's fucking her with the sword, right? It's not just a happy accident?
I don't think so. Yeah, I mean, she is hot.
Okay, but like, it kind of detracts from his little love story with Cheryl, right? Which, I mean, ultimately doesn't matter anyway.
Right.
George helps Cheryl up, and we get a couple weird exterior shots of the theater, along with the arrival of a weird, like, helicopter blade sound that starts up here. And they look up toward the ceiling, and wouldn't you know it, a fucking helicopter comes crashing through the ceiling.
Yeah, like evidently landed on the roof and the roof couldn't handle the load.
The fuck is that about? Is it like a rescue attempt or some shit? What the fuck is a helicopter doing landing on a movie theater?
I mean, that's what they do, Dusty.
Yeah, I know. It's what they do. But why do they do it? Man, the pilot looks like he had the top of his head ripped off. And George rummages through this wreck. So is it a thing where like the demons have already kind of gotten loose outside the theater somehow and attacked this pilot in the helicopter and it went down? I don't know what the fuck is going on. Did he land on the roof for whatever reason and then got attacked by a demon? Yeah. Probably Rosemary, because she's got a thing for scalping people.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't.
Can't really be sure about that. But yeah, he's got the top of his head ripped off. George rips the seats out and starts fumbling around with controls and yells at Cheryl to get in. I'm sorry. You're not considering flying this thing, are you?
Yeah, there's two things I want to point out here. Number one, The helicopter is fucking crashed.
Yeah.
Okay.
The fucking blades are all like bent up and shit.
Right. It just fell through the roof. You're not flying it anywhere.
You're a fucking
Once
idiot,
you
George.
crash a helicopter or a plane, you usually don't fly it again.
No, that's
Okay.
totaled, man. You got to salvage that title.
Number 2. It's just common knowledge. He's, oh, you know what? Hold on a minute. Flip this switch, flip that switch. Oh, here we go, honey. And it's a fucking helicopter.
Yeah, he does kind of get it going a little too easy, but he doesn't manage to do it like, because once again, you said it's fucked up. Like the blades are not gonna fucking spin as a helicopter's blades are supposed to. Or am I supposed to call them rotors? I'm sorry if I'm not using proper helicopter lingo. Please excuse me. I'm not a pilot. But it turns out that's exactly what he wanted to do, was try to fly this thing, but he couldn't quite get it going. He did, however, manage to rev it up enough to take out a few more demons.
Yeah, it was badass, actually. Like,
Yeah.
cuts off the top of somebody's skull.
But that's my point, is because, like, the only reason it did that, if they were just walking toward it, a lot of people, like, duck when they're approaching a helicopter, but you don't have to do that. The blades are, you know, way up. You're not going to get your fucking head cut off.
Right.
But because these blades are fucked up and they're bent down, that's the only reason this works. When
Right.
he revs it up, the fucking bent down blade kind of slices someone's head in half, and that kind of shit's going on. I don't know. It's all really goofy. But he says, don't worry, Cheryl. Now we just got to get through the hole the chopper made in the ceiling. No big deal.
Yeah, right away I thought that too. This giant ass, like, dude, that helicopter came crashing down.
Mhm.
That was a long fall.
Mhm.
Right away it was, again, you got a big ass ladder or...
Well,
No, it turns out he's fucking Batman.
I was just going to say, it turns out he's fucking MacGyver, because he hands her like this grappling hook and launcher. Of course, we all know every helicopter has those. But then he crawls on top of this chopper and he asks for those things back, and he shoots this like harpoon out the fucking hole. And Cheryl goes to crawl on top of the chopper, but she gets attacked by a demon. Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
She manages to kick it off. They hook onto each other, and then they start rising to the ceiling with this fucking thing he rigged up. This weird little gadget
He said
made.
it was a winch. I said, I didn't think
Yeah.
a helicopter came with a fucking winch.
Well, I can understand that happening. They have to like lower something under it. It makes total sense to me, but there would still be tension on it. Like, he wouldn't be able to shoot that harpoon. He would be getting met with resistance from the winch the whole way. So it would
Right.
fucking go 12 feet and fall probably.
Right.
But they climb onto the top of this roof, hearing all kinds of ruckus down below, and they sit there catching their breath for a second, and then dun dun dun. Metal face guy walks up behind them, and he fucking pushes George back down into the hole.
Yeah, but thankful George is a fucking Olympic bodybuilder.
Bodybuilder.
Bodybuilder. Yeah. Yeah, no, George is really strong and is holding on by the fucking rebar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Turns out it was lucky that the chopper crashed through. So this guy kneels down and he keeps trying to like pry George's hands off and push him down. But Cheryl stabs him with the fucking harpoon. And this guy manages to pull it back out, but George grabs it, wedges it under something so he can push down on this guy's neck to shove his face down on top of some more spikes jutting out. And that's it. It's a surprisingly easy big boss fight.
Yeah, rebar goes right out of the back of his head.
Nothing really comes of
through
it.
His fancy little mask.
We never find out who he was or why he was or what the fuck any of this was about.
Right.
He's just dead now.
And it's like the movie continues. Nobody has any idea what just happened.
The two of them look for a way out, but the door is blocked by more demons, go figure. So they find a ladder, they go down that. That leads them back to the alley from earlier. That's good news.
Mm-hmm.
And they run past all kinds of chaos. There's lots of demons and fucking cars on fire and shit.
I was going to say, you can tell that the city is almost, looks like it's under attack.
How did it
something,
get overrun so fast?
Right.
So finally, they happen to cross paths with a small group of people in a white Jeep. They jump in and take off, and these people are pretty well armed, and they're just fucking cruising around killing demons, apparently.
Yeah, hell yeah.
The woman in the Jeep, June, stands up to shoot a few of them. The guy driving the Jeep runs a couple over, and June goes, "Welcome aboard, there's more weapons on the floor." And
Yeah, hell yeah.
the little boy, Kurt, comes back to help him grab a few, and George asks, where are we going? And the guy driving just says, as far away from here as possible. Dude looked like a fucking knockoff Donald Pleasance a little bit.
Yeah.
But he says they're headed west, somewhere they can start a new life. George and Cheryl stand up in the back of the Jeep as the credits roll, and we zoom in on Cheryl a few times. Turns out she's got a little scratch on her neck, and she turns around all demonificated, and Kurt doesn't waste any fucking time, dude. He shoots the shit out of her. She falls out of the back of the Jeep. We get a close-up of her head in the road as the rest of them head west and the fucking theme music kicks back in. Movie over, dude. The
wanted
camera
to-
holds on on that shot as the credits roll.
I wanted to note that little Kurt shot her and she fell out of the Jeep and he was like eating a hot dog or something, dude. He had like a sandwich in his mouth.
Yeah. But I mean, that just goes to show it doesn't matter what you're doing, where you are, you got to be ready for anything, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. Kind of anticlimactic towards the end, but also kind of crazy.
Well, there's no resolve. We leave it open-ended in the end. Like, they're just driving off to hopefully a better future somewhere, but who fucking knows?
Well, like you said, how long is a movie typically? How long were they in that theater? Everything was fine before they went in.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Within, let's 4 or 5 hours, give or take, maybe.
Yeah.
The whole world's fucked.
Right. Somebody would have had to have gotten out and fucking started scratching and biting people, and then, like, it just...
Probably Warner with the cops.
Maybe.
That had to have been it, right?
That would probably be the most likely starting point, yes. But it's a little far-fetched that it took hold that fucking quickly. And now all of a sudden other people who came from wherever else are like, oh shit, yeah, we got to get out of here. This is a big deal. Everybody knows what's going on now. Time to head for the fucking hills.
I think we just need to watch Demons 2 now. What if it picks up right where it left off and it's just one big long story?
All right, everybody, that was the announcement. Next week, Demons 2 here on the Cinebites. No, that's actually not the next movie. But I don't know, dude. I thought this movie was pretty good, even though it was kind of bad.
Good and bad. I mean, this is like...
Some of the bad is good.
Oh, yeah.
I
love this movie, man. This one is up there. This is one of my favorites. I love the 80s. I love the 80s horror. I like the cheese. I love the effects. We don't have effects like this anymore, And,
we really don't. And you're right. It is a lot of fucking fun. Like, it's definitely 80s cheese through and through. But, like, I mean, like, with the effects, the score, everything screams 80s, low-budget horror here.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a really good fucking time, dude. Like, I love the giallo elements coming up here and there. I think the cheese is, obviously intended, but it works really well. Like, you know what you're coming to see with these types of things.
Right.
And man, do they deliver.
Absolutely.
Every fucking time. Like, this is no exception. I really enjoyed it. Personally, I gave it 6.5 out of 10 samurai dirt bikes.
Shit, yeah. Dude.
Not super sold on it, but like I can dig this,
Right. I'm like 8 out of 10. I love it.
Yeah.
I'll watch it all the time. Bring it back. Like I said, I think we should get Demons 2 somewhere down the line.
Oh yeah, for sure.
With there not being any resolve here,
we'll do all the part 2s eventually.
Right.
That's what we should do eventually for like maybe after 10 years. We're like starting on a new decade. Let's go through a thing where we just like we'll go through all of our our whole catalog that we've got up to that point, and then we're just gonna start doing sequels, and we're gonna do fucking reboots.
10 years, he says.
No more. Hey.
In about 50 years from now, we're gonna start on the sequels.
Fuck yeah, why not? I mean, I wouldn't have a problem doing the same shit.
Yeah,
50 years from now. But yeah, I would say for sure check it out at least once. Some people are going to kind of like it. Some people are going to fucking love it like Jason. Some people it's not going to be their thing. But I would recommend as a horror fan, you check it out just to have that experience. And beyond that, yeah, I think that'll about wrap us up. You don't have anything else to tack on to the end here, do you?
No.
Nice. Hell yeah. Well, we will catch you on the flip side, ever peoples. We thank you for hanging out with us. We had a good time and hope you did too, as always. And remember, dreams are fleeting. Only nightmares last forever. Follow your nightmares.
Kill her, Mommy. Kill her.
I bid you welcome.
Thanks for listening to the Cinebites podcast. If you like what you heard, follow us on our socials at Cinebites Pod on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, rate, and review. It really goes a long way in helping us reach more listeners.
You can stream the Cinebites on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and many more popular streaming platforms and YouTube.
Questions or comments? Suggestions for future episodes? Contact us at cinebitespod@gmail.com. If you'd like to support the show and help us make it a better product for you, subscribe at cinebitespod.buzzsprout.com.
Until next time, keep following those nightmares.
It's the demone.
Gorlami.
Urbano Barberini.
Mama was a Marisa Casale.